Hey y'all, coming to y'all from beautiful British Columbia. You know the girls in BC be killing it, right? Woo! Woo! Yeah! Oh god, a joke me I make. Anyways, I was getting ready to go on the road and I thought, before I leave, there's something that I want to do this video. Like I was like, so sometimes people say, Kayon, may not have the money for express entry because with all of those different categories that you mentioned, I would be outside of Canada, so you need to show proof of funds. You have to show that you have a certain amount of funds. And honestly, I understand not having the funds for the amount of funds that they required for showing as proof to move to Canada, because let's be honest, a lot of people, you're working every day, you coming like you can't see ends, you can't make ends meet, much less more to find the money that maybe you've saved to take to say maybe go to school. Maybe you not even know if you find the first dollar. Basically, you don't have it. You don't have it. This video is for you. This video is for all my girls, all my boys. You just go through. You're living, you're looking fly, you're looking nice and all, but hey, truth is, you don't have the money there. We're gonna talk or you can achieve it. These jobs that I'm gonna recommend first, they might be gender biased, mostly more towards females. No offense for the males who are watching, stay tuned, I still have something for you, but I gotta sort out the ladies first. So yeah, if you want to come to Canada, right, there's a Canada have over 50 different pathways. It is true. Some of these pathways I myself did not know before coming here, because the truth is, because I have a bachelor's degree and I was a working professional, there were some pathways that you just don't hear of. But the truth is, the government of Jamaica and a lot of these other small islands, they do have programs where in Jamaica they call it the farm work program. The government, your MP, they have those programs. So if you know someone who knows someone who can get you on one of those programs, honey, even if you have a bachelor's degree, you just want your way in. You want to know why? Because don't you ever look down on a job, because every job make us who we are at the end of the day. Certain things that you go through, they define you. It makes you know what you want and what you don't want. So I work like as a youth support worker, and I work with a lot of different kids. So for some students who are here, they have conditions like they can't work with kids, or they can't. I don't fall under that. I don't have that condition or that limitation. So I work around kids, and I won't lie, like sometimes it's the happiest I've been in a long while. And this is coming from a girl who I'm married, me how much? Me old. Me closer to the ending of 20s, okay? And I don't have the urge or the buzz to say, oh, I want kids. No, nah. Right, but working with them, I realized I really like this. And it doesn't give me that baby fever, no. It just gives me something like, I am happy I'm making a difference in the future of the world, because they are the future. It's just something that's so fulfilling and something that I really like, right? And so I say this, if I had not decided to, hey, come here as a student, apply for some of these different type of work, I would not have known that, okay, maybe your calling is in something else. Maybe you should find a job that works with kids. Start exploring that option. If you don't want to do engineering anymore, there's a future here, right? So pick engineering projects or engineering jobs that impact the younger generation. It takes doing some things for you to realize, oh, the right calling. Maybe the project that I was working on, I wasn't finding the meaning, because at the end of the day, I'm not seeing the direct impact to what brings me joy. Find out about a farm work program. If that's something you're willing to do, you're not watching a face, you just want a way out. That's one way. Another way how you can move to Canada, if you don't have the money, you don't want to do no express entry, if you are, maybe you're not even a nurse, because if you're a nurse, I'd tell her, hey, you stand a better chance. But for example, another way you can move to Canada is on the caregiver program. If you don't know, Canada has this nanny program where if you have experience, or you can show that in your home country you worked with kids before, so you need reference to show that, hey, you worked with kids before, or some form of certificate. I think a heart certificate could work too. If you're in Jamaica, you know what I'm talking about. Those government programs. Maybe in your country you have some government programs where it's a 6-week 3 months training, and you get that certification to say, hey, you're certified to work with kids. You can use that to help you to apply with the nanny program, where someone would give you a job offer to come up and live in like a living nanny, and they would sponsor you, and after 2 years you become permanent resident. It's a pathway. A lot of people who maybe came here on a visitor visa, that's what they tend to normally do, the caregiver program, because they say, hey, they get the visa and they could not have afford to do international school fee, but somebody tell them about this pathway, so they do it. That's one way. You can find these nanny jobs, or these persons you can find them on Kijiji. There is this nanny website, I don't remember the name of it, but there's this nanny website in Canada where you can go on that website and look up different persons telling you, oh, they need someone who is this, someone who is that. So that's another pathway, the caregiver program, the caregiving pathway. Check it out, do your research, look it up. At the end of the day, whichever pathway or whichever job or what you're trying to do, be careful of scammers, because they are out there. Don't be fooled. Them did their wait to catch people, so be careful. Maybe you're a teacher. We know teachers don't make enough money, but nothing wrong. My father and my sister, they were teachers. There are different provinces that has different requirements for their certifications. I know Saskatchewan is one of them who will evaluate your certification and your letters of reference from your home country as a teacher, and give you a certification of qualification that you need to be a teacher in the province. And then with that, you can use that to get job offers and then get PNP nomination. So if you're a teacher, you want to look for that. Also, if maybe you're not a teacher, but maybe you have qualifications in some skill or something else, different provinces offer different certificates of qualification. And I keep on saying this word, certificate of qualification, because I don't know what you're possibly studying or what you possibly have experience or years of service in. But whatever skill it is, you can find out the requirements that is needed for you to get that certificate in Canada. Because some of them is okay, maybe some of them they have like, they will assess your certificate from your home country, and if it is equivalent, then they will grant you like a day where you can come and showcase for hairdressing, showcase your skill, and then they will examine that, and it's like an examination, but it's a practical examination, and then you will be awarded your certificate of qualification. Different things require different things when it comes to the trades, so know where you fall, and when you know where you fall, then you can look up each province and see what they require from you to practice that skill or trade in the province. And many times, sometimes they will even recommend that, okay, we'll accept your trade, but you need to go back to school. They sometimes are like that. But the good thing is, going back to school for a lot of these trades is not as expensive as getting a professional certificate or getting a master's or a bachelor's. It is cheaper. So if there's a way you can find that money, that's a pathway. As bad as things may be for you, I am sure there's a Scotia ad here in Canada that says you are richer than you think. You are richer than you think. Sometimes you think you don't have the money at all, but it's just surprise when you start putting 2 and 2 together, and you're like, okay, I see where I can get this. Can I go beg my uncle down the road for say, for help me? You know, you never know. But you can't just go to family members and friends to say, yeah, beg them help you for sponsor you to Canada when you don't have a plan. At least know what you're going to do and know the plan, right? I don't think nobody in Jamaica that badly off that no matter what, they can't find a little money for the start of the opportunity. I don't think so. Jamaica poor, but we're not so poor. If it's a case where you're that poor, like you just finished high school and you're that poor, young man, young lady, let me tell you something. Like for me, I remember when it was time for me to go to university, one of my aunts told my mom to send me to the States to study nursing, and my mother said no. It was not that, hey, my mother could find 2 and 2 for send me to the States to study nursing. But you know what my mother saying was, she was like, when you're here in Jamaica, if you need 1 banana, me can carry 1 banana come to town, come give you. You know, anything me can run, come to town, come give you. When you're there foreign and me have to pay international school fee, it a go hard to go find plane ticket for come for anything. You know, and that was my mother's defense. Plus, my mother say, what's your dream? And I told her, I don't want to be a nurse, I want to be an engineer. Mother said, engineer you want to be, I can go, you take a UE and go be an engineer, go for your dream. Parents always want what they believe is best for their children. Not saying that my mother didn't make the right decision, because to be honest, I don't regret nothing. I'm happy. I'm happy for all that I've had to go through to get here. I'm happy for all the people I meet along the way. I wouldn't have met them if I went and did nursing then. Right? I would not have met them if I decided not to do engineering because, hey, my aunt who is in nursing kept on saying, oh, it's a great career, pays well. When she finishes school, she'll definitely get sponsorship. Don't have to worry about green card. Right? And that was just not my destiny. So maybe you're young. Maybe you are a girl like me who was, at that time I think I was maybe 17, 16, right? And your parents don't have it. Nothing is wrong. Take student loan. If you can get somebody to sign the papers, let them sign it for you. I always tell people, nothing wrong with student loan, Nothing wrong with student loan. You know what wrong? When you take student loan and go UWI and you take and go study fat. Now we have a problem. You get me? Now we have a problem. It's when you take, it's like, growing up, people tell you, oh, but when you become adults now, we have sense now. But growing up, people tell you, oh, if you're really passionate about arts, do arts. Oh, if you're really passionate about this, do that. First of all, as much as mother did want me to do my dream, at first I think I said I wanted to go into business. And honestly, nothing is wrong with going into business, but my mother looked on me and my father, who was a teacher at that time, and said, look, a girl, pick something in the sciences and technology, because that's where the future of the world is. If you do something in one of those two fields, you will get a job. And when you're finished getting your job, then when you have your work, you can go back to school, go do your business or whatever you choose to do, right? And that was interesting, because I was like, okay, because I think at one point I even think I wanted to be an actress, you name it, right? And with the guidance of my parents, I followed them and I did engineering, which is in the field of STEM, right? Science. So that's why I say nothing is wrong with taking student loan, because even me, when I was going to UTech at one point, I took student loan and my mother couldn't find it, right? She did tell me from day one, say she only paid for 2 years, and she only paid for 2 years, and she paid the money, sent me and work and travel for me to make ends meet, to pay for my other 2 years. And it's just that it kind of never worked out. So we take student loan. But when I started working, right, the first thing I did before I got a nice car or whatever else that was blinking in my eyes at the time, I paid off my student loans. I paid off my student loan. And I even did end up taking a scholarship. I got a scholarship at UTech, which helped me put money on my student loan, because I had money left over at the end of my studies. But I say this to say that if you're young, finishing high school, and you don't have it, take the student loan. And me know right now, maybe you want to be a psychologist, maybe you want to be an entrepreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you don't have to go to UTech for that. Just start putting your work and do that. But maybe you want to be an accountant. I'm saying to you now, who needs to hear it, hear it. I can only give my opinion. I'm saying to you, same thing my parents told me then. Look where the future is. Do something in that, and it will pay off. For me right now, I think the future is in healthcare. That I did not know then. When my aunt was, the future is in healthcare. If maybe you're not someone healthcare, but you're in a third world country, one of the easiest way and the fastest ways to leave Jamaica, my dear, is a nurse. They maybe pay a little bit when you just start off, but at least you have a trip or a ticket out. And it's sad for me sitting here and I tell you how at least I can plan your way out when we should have tried to build up a country. But the truth is, the rich man, for them pitney now build up a country. For them pitney study abroad. So why the poor man pitney to sit down and build country? What goes for the goose goes for the gander. So yeah, try find something. I love my country, don't get it wrong. I love my country. I'll always be Jamaican. And I love that Jamaica make me who I am. Make me know why me want what I want, why me go so hard for things that I want, right? But at the same time, you're young. you're starting your life, you can always go back home. At the end of the day, I can always go back to Jamaica. I don't have a problem going back to Jamaica. It's just that when I'm going back, I must have money to live, because you need money to live, right? So maybe you're young and you're looking for a pathway to, you're doing your research, you're looking for a pathway to come to Canada or whatever it is. But I would tell you, look where the future is, look where the market is, and choose something along that line. It doesn't have to be healthcare, it doesn't have to be nursing. There is tech, even though recently a lot of persons in tech lost their jobs, but they're still going to need computer science no matter what, right? There is tech. And then if you research it good, a lot of persons who lost their jobs in tech are not the real, I would say, are not the real tech persons, because the real tech persons are the persons who are really doing the programming, who are really doing all the scripts, right? They are the real deal, right? So maybe it's not engineering like me, but look for something along the lines of the future. One of the things I used to do back then, I remember when I was looking for a career and my parents had choose something along STEM, I researched highest paying jobs in STEM. Yes, and that was how I found electrical engineering above all the others. And then I realized, oh, electrical engineering have more maths, and I love mathematics, right? So that was how I chose my thing. In your case, what do you love? And not only what you love, but in the path towards where the future is, how do you fit into that? Choose a career that makes sense. If you have to get the student loan, take the student loan. But when you start working, have a plan to say, okay, because a lot of nurses took student loan and can't pay it because they're still in Jamaica, right? But a lot of them left. There are so many of them who left, got good jobs, and now can pay off their student loans quickly. So know what you want and what you're willing to sacrifice to get, because at the end of the day, no, like my mother said, just like my mother said, as an engineer now, I can afford to pay to go back to school myself now, to do whatever I really want, right? I can. So if you have to put off some things, you put it off, but do something that makes sense. I don't wish on anyone that you go to school, whether you took student loan or your parents paid for it, and then when you come out you can't get a job, right? I don't like that. I don't like for the persons who went to school, did this degree, this big degree, and then when they come out they end up at call centers. As bad as thing may be, all the students who have went to university with an engineering degree, not one of them ended up at a call center. So look for a career that will take you places. Education is the vehicle towards success for poor people like myself. Education makes the difference. And when you're going to the work world, nobody take you for that. All the best. Look away. There is a way. Don't just do something for doing sake. A lot of students in school, maybe you don't have the CXCs that you need for the STEM pathway because you didn't do sciences. It's never too late to do some CXCs or do over CXC. You're still young. Even if you're 25, it's not too late. You're still young. You have breath in your body. You're still alive. Whatever it is that you're going to do, here's my final words to you regarding this topic. Pray about it first. Tell God your problems, and He says whatever you ask with prayer and supplication, He will answer. So pray about it and wait on God's answer. All the best to you. I always say all the best because I wish you all the best. Just like I wish myself all the best, I wish you all the best. So all the best to you on this journey. I hope you figure out what it is that you want to do. Even if you are coming to Canada and maybe you're on an education pathway where maybe you have a bachelor's that you did in something else and you want to change, it's not too late to change career. It is not too late. And if you're going to go back to school, you might as well go back to school for what you really want to do instead of spending time doing something that you don't want to do. So all the best to you, and I wish you figure it out. And this video is specifically for my young upcoming generation. I know you want your heart tells you, oh, this is what I want, this is what I really want to do. I don't have any love or any passion for this. When you're out in real life, your heart can't pay the bills. You need money. So now I time to grow up and realize. I don't know, that's just my view. You can take it, leave it, or you can. You see, the thing is, the people in first world countries, I believe they have a luxury that people in third world countries do not have. People in first world country can dream and tell you, come on Disney and tell you, oh, dream, you can be anything you want to be. Well, that is true, yes, you can be anything you want to be. If you put your mind to it, at the end of the day, you in third world country, third world only have a certain amount of jobs. That's just your reality. Your reality is different from someone who's in a first world country. Someone in a first world country can go to school and be an accountant and know that when they come out they will get a job in accounting. You can go to school for accounting, and then when you come out, instead of getting an accounting job, they give you a different role. Like you pick up something else because you have to work your way up. You have to have certain CPA certifications to even get that accounting job, right? And then when you got all these CPA certification and you're getting pay, your pay still not reach 800,000 a month. Not know about you, but for me, I ain't want no title and the funds now connect. Me rather the funds without the title. So yeah. Us persons like myself who are from third world countries, we do not have the same luxury that people in the first world country has, and that's just the truth. That is just the truth. Coming to first world country now, I have some luxury that I did not have in Jamaica, and for that I'm thankful. But when you're there, you're trying to find your way out, do something that makes sense. Wish that video help you. Let me know what you think. If you don't agree with me or whatever, please don't be afraid for coming saying I agree. Give me your opinion, give me a take. Tell me what you think. I'm just trying to tell you my story and tell you what I've learned over the years. And if you're in a situation trying to figure out what you need to study, what you need to do to better yourself and your family, that's how I think is one of the best way how you can figure it out, starting with your career. Don't forget to share this video to someone who is young, someone who is trying to figure it out. Maybe this is what they need to know. Like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Now we go out because the girls in BC, they be killing it. They be killing it. So now we go.